Hello, everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of FCTV. I am your host, Snapple Grapple. To my left is the illustrious co-host known as...
Wait for it.
Okay.
Hold up.
Okay.
Jamaican. Hold on.
Oh, okay. That one.
What?
Hold on. Are they
Shake.
ready?
That's it.
Y'all heard him. To my right, we have, once again, another special guest from the food chain. You've seen him before, and here he is back again to join us. Introduce yourself, sir.
The carving chicken.
All right. We are the food chain guys. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of FCTV. Today, fellas, what movie are we going to cover?
Spiderman.
Far From Home, FFH.
FFH. So, you know, I didn't realize like FFH stood for Far From Home.
Yeah, Far From Home.
So I see people on all these Spider-Man things on Instagram talking about FFH over Spider-Man whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here like Final Fantasy Hearts? What?
No.
Nope.
Final Fantasy Hearts.
And then it all made sense a couple seconds later. Like,
Yeah.
oh, idiot, Far From Home.
Yeah.
But, real quick. So, we're covering Spider-Man Far From Home.
Right.
Now, this movie, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. This movie, when I looked at this movie, after it was all said and done, I said, wow. This
Better
was a
than Endgame.
very... What?
Better than Endgame.
Yo, that's a
hey,
bold
if
claim.
that's, hey, look, if that's your personal
Hey,
opinion,
that's what a lot of people are saying, but
I
carry
am.
on.
I'm hearing that a lot.
I
But
do
when
hear that a lot.
When I was finished this movie, the only thing I could think of was, damn, this was a really, really cute movie.
I can't hold you. I let this movie simmer before I came up with anything. Like, when I saw this movie, I was like, I like that. And right now, I don't have any issues with it. But I know I'm going to have issues with it.
Right.
So I had to let it simmer.
Had a lot of issues.
I have issues with it now.
Okay.
But I had to let it simmer at the time. So I still really actually like this movie a lot.
This is good. Normally, I'm the one with all the issues. They told me to go in as a fan this time.
I had a big rant earlier with your brother.
I can't even hold you. I still really like this movie.
Oh, no, I still
In fact,
agree
it's
with you,
probably
so-
like one of my favorite MCU.
In my personal opinion, I gave this movie an overall 8 out of 10. What about you, sir?
Probably give it like an 8.59.
8.59, and you?
7.5.
7.5? That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so what I want to do with this one is I want to start off with the drag and then finish strong. So what we're going to start with is all the cons.
All right, so
I want to know
we're done.
everything you guys hated about the movie.
Okay.
And we'll see what we agreed on, what we
Okay.
disagreed on. You might have saw something I didn't see, and vice versa.
I'll go first since I'm the one with the
he
lowest
has
score.
Yeah,
the
he
lowest,
has
so I'm
the
gonna
lowest
let him
scores.
rock.
Basically, my biggest issue with the movie, and this is purely coming from a Spider-Man fan, I've always appreciated the character of Peter Parker as his own genius, that he comes up with his own thing. And yet again, the film and the series drags on this whole concept of Larkin, like latching on to Stark. And I understand Tony Stark is the heart and soul of the MCU, 100%. But I feel like his story arc is over. He's done. He's left his mark on the world. And I felt like this was the perfect opportunity to let Peter Parker, Spider-Man, grow on his own. But my biggest issue in this movie is, yet again, he gets suits, he gets happy support, he gets all this Tony Stark support, and I felt like Tony Stark isn't gone. Like, his shadow is still looming over, and it makes sense because, he's still dead and the world's still suffering from the loss. But I feel like Peter Parker, Spider-Man, is like Tony Stark mini. I feel like he's too worldwide, too international. We only have one movie where he's a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Remember, his first appearance was in Germany. His second appearance was in space. His third appearance,
Well, technically, the second one was Homecoming.
But
Yeah.
then in Endgame was in Avengers Mansion. It was all bombastic.
Yeah.
And look, I love the scene. Their chemistry worked together. But I feel like they are dissing the whole Uncle Ben thing, which I think is completely disrespectful for the character, and put Tony Stark. And if it was anyone else, I would be upset, but I understand Tony Stark is God in this whole universe. He is the man to look up to. I just feel like we're losing that part of Spider-Man's lore.
I feel you. Because that actually is kind of like a similar issue I have. But I've kind of come to peace.
Yeah.
And I want to, before we even get deep,
Yeah.
This is spoilers. Spoiler
Obviously.
review, 100%.
We always forget to say that at the beginning. Most of you already know, but if you're tuning in and you're one of our new videos,
Right.
one thing I took from one of my favorite comic videos is, every video is somebody's first video.
Yeah.
That's it.
Exactly.
One of my favorite quotes ever, and I'm not gonna shout him out until I know he's not gonna sue us. So in any case, thank you for that one if you ever see this. But I definitely feel as though you guys should know we are 100% spoilers. We haven't dropped the video where there wasn't spoilers
Honestly.
You
yet.
gotta have spoilers if we're doing these
And we're
in-depth.
doing
Because
something
we
like
get
this.
very in-depth with how we talk about things. So we want you guys to know every detail. Every small detail that the average person isn't going to see.
Yeah.
Our goal is to point that out for you.
Yeah.
So from here on out, spoiler warnings. Letting everybody know.
Spoilers up now.
So,
But
continue.
I've come to peace.
Yeah.
Because the scene in the movie that actually, like, at the time, I thought it was really cool, which I still think it's an amazing scene.
Visually, it's beautiful.
Is the scene where, like,
The grave.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and, like, right when that popped up, I was like, are they going to drop Uncle Ben
That's
right here?
what I thought they
And
should
then,
have
like,
done.
right when they did that, and then it was Iron Man. And I'm like, okay.
It makes sense.
So, and I had to come to peace with the fact that, for real, Uncle Ben doesn't mean shit to this
No, it
incarnation
doesn't.
of Peter Parker.
I'm amazed.
Like,
Moved on.
for real, like, this is like Tony Stark is Uncle Ben.
No, 100%.
Like, Tony Stark is
You're-
Uncle Ben in this interpretation. And whether you like that or not, which I don't like it, but at this point, it wouldn't even make sense to shoehorn Uncle Ben into the situation. Because, like, if this next movie, all of a sudden he's like, I do for my Uncle Ben, I'd be like, that's weird. I'd be like, that's weird for you because you never brought that up.
Yeah.
Like, since Civil War and, like, one maybe line.
Slightly.
Like,
But
for
never
real.
said his name.
That was actually a big issue. That's probably my biggest issue with Far From Home as a whole, was that it's very much Tony influencing Peter. But I do have a counterpoint with you saying that he didn't make his stuff, and I feel you. But I actually feel like he at least made his suit this time. He's a kid.
He made it, but with the support of $1 billion industry.
Yeah, well, of course.
And then that's my biggest issue because he has always built it from his own like material. And I understand, like, I shouldn't be talking about this and comparing the other movies, but even the Raimi, even the the web series, and even Into the Spider-Verse, each character has kind of created their own concept.
See,
but
and I
you know,
feel
but I can't compare it just because this is its own interpretation.
Yeah, there's so many just different aspects.
Yeah.
That go into, because in my head at least, like, yeah, he didn't make it with his own materials, he didn't buy his own thing, but he did the web fluid is his formula.
That's really only it.
The design and the actual idea of the upgraded suit is his own. This was like the Homecoming suit was Tony Stark. That was designed by everything about it was Tony Stark's idea.
I get you.
But at least the upgraded suit was his idea, just using aspects from like Tony. But I feel like in this modern world, for real, like, it wouldn't work it would look stupid for him to just be in cloth or spandex. Like, I made this at home. Like, they'd be like, I feel like even in the MCU, even if it wasn't Tony, like, someone would be like, yeah, I'm gonna make you a nicer suit than that because
But I feel like it would be better if it was him.
I won't have you running around here with a skin tight suit getting shot at. Like, that's just not gonna happen.
Because the weird thing is, he is super smart. There are scenes in the movie
he's absolutely smart.
where he goes ballistic, like crazy smart. But I really feel like, hey, and I know this is gonna be weird. Like, hey, what if like that Chitauri incident? He found like metals or scraps that he can use and engineer to make his suit or something. Because everything always goes back to the Chitauri invasion.
I feel that, but he's also poor, so it's like, oh, what am I? And they already said on Homecoming, you can only alter Chitauri tech with more Chitauri tech. So I'm like, he can't pull out a screwdriver and hammer and start beating at some piece of metal and expect to just make a suit out of it. But that's actually a big issue I had was the whole Uncle Ben thing. I don't really like it, but at this point I've come to peace with it. And I feel like it was handled a lot better in Far From Home than it was in Homecoming. Because obviously Tony Stark is not here.
Yeah.
And a lot of it, honestly, you don't even really get a lot of like the Tony Stark influence until like the end scene, other than the fact that he's just like, oh, I'm working with Mysterio, who is Nick Fury is trying to make the new Iron Man, quote unquote, and he's just doing all this, that, and Edith and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I don't like that, but I think it showed that he was Spider-Man more than anything in this movie, and I enjoyed that.
I have two more, and then I'll pass it on. I'll kind of go quick. Number 2, I do not like, yet again, that Spider-Man's villain is wholly connected to Stark yet again. And correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't he like his job was taken away from damage control, which was a company from
funded.
Stark.
It was funded by Stark. It was a Shield-run company funded
so again,
by him.
it was an enemy created by Stark. Yet again, then in this one, spoilers, obviously, Mysterio was it his tech, right, that was stolen, or his ideas?
It was the idea for his tech.
Yeah, he was fired from Stark.
Yeah.
And it was a very fast, brief scene, but yet again, like, I feel like we're kind of getting disconnected from, like, Spider-Man being really connected personally to his villains, and it's more of, like, the leftovers from what Stark did in his past are spewing over just to Peter and Spider-Man. And I kind of feel like, yet again, that's taking individuality with the thing. And then the last thing I will say was the end credit, where I don't particularly like how his identity got leaked and revealed. I personally think that's... And I know your theory, it sounds really good, but I feel like that is premature, and I feel like having that when he's a teenager is kind of too young, and personally, they rub me the wrong way, but those are my complaints. And I know it may not seem valid, but those are the things that I had an issue with the movie.
No,
and yet again, remember, I gave the movie a good rating.
Yeah.
But I'll speak about the positive once we're done with our cons. How about you?
What you got?
Actually, I want you to go.
Oh, you want me to go?
So far, the dislikes that I have are honestly a lot different from yours. So
Okay.
You two have a lot of
So, like I
similarities.
said, I have an issue with the Uncle Ben situation.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I don't think that's like a super big deal for me at this point.
Okay.
But another like big issue I feel like I had, it's actually not as big. This is kind of like a nitpick for me.
Okay.
Is that his upgraded suit? I was like, what is upgraded about?
Just a color.
Honestly, it was just a color. Like, I thought like it would have been cool if he mixed, like, because when he was making it, he was like choosing what he wanted in it, and I was like, that's cool. Like, I thought maybe we'd see some stuff he's never done before in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because in Homecoming he had like the electric webs, he had like the ricochet webs, he had the parachute, the wings, the like the one where it like split in two.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's all cool stuff. And then obviously Avengers, he had like the spider arms and the kill mode he actually used and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, cool. And then when he was like picking and choosing stuff, I was like, oh, what new stuff are we gonna get now? And then it's like the same exact thing that we got from the other suits. Like he does like web wing once, and then he does like he uses the electric thing once, right?
It was like
when he like wet them all and put it together.
Yeah, he uses
But
it
I
to
feel like
take
he could have
down
done
the
that with
next
his
one.
normal suit.
Yeah, and I was like, that's not really anything upgraded per se. Plus his suit gets like destroyed in
Right.
that fight. It gets fucked up. So I'm like, there's nothing really upgraded about it other than it's just like a new design by him, which is fine. I mean, I'm sure he'll get a new one in this new movie anyway.
Obviously.
But I just thought, like, what was the point of even coining it the upgraded suit when it's dead ass like the same shit?
Even Iron Man got some new stuff for his suits.
Yeah, honestly, like I was like, it's kind of the same stuff for real. But that scene, that whole issue, I wasn't a big fan of.
I think it was more of like a Steve Ditko like homage.
Yeah,
It
definitely was, but I thought like it was just like pointless in the
yeah.
end. Like
They're calling it the new suit.
I don't have a problem with him getting a new suit, but just make it so it's just like the same suit but like different. Like just like maybe make it like Europe suit or some shit. Like you don't have to call it, like the upgraded suit.
And what else?
I don't really have too much more. There's like some like little things that just I was like, that was weird. Like the scene with wait, what was that scene? I'm trying to remember now. Like the scene with when he like first uses Edith.
Yeah.
And he like targets Brad. I thought like
that was drastic.
It was just weird, like tonally. I just thought like it was like, oh, like.
Because I don't feel like Tony Stark would like have something like that to strike down on
people. I was like, Tony Stark would just like strike like a literal little drone to murder this person, like. Who, even if it's not like a teenager, he just like Edith, kill this guy for me. Like that seems weird.
It seems weird for like Tony Stark to like have like a kill.
Yeah, I kind of thought the whole Edith thing was weird as a whole. It seemed kind of just like a plot point to have Mysterio make kind of more sense.
It's 100% a plot.
Yeah, device. like I think it's like a cool thing that like Peter got it, but I think it would have been cooler if it was just like a message from Tony in the glasses,
that'd be more impactful.
and not like an AI. Considering he already had AI in Homecoming. that was essentially just like Jarvis.
I guess technically they don't want like Tony Stark at all, like to be like
yeah,
visual.
and I think that's true. I don't think they want Robert Downey Jr. like period.
Yeah.
Back in this.
I mean, it's for more from the
Which I mean, I get it. Like I don't want to cloud the movie up, but like
it would have been nice to have a message.
a message that's like specific for him would have been cool.
It would have been more impactful.
Yeah, and maybe like to tell him like, hey, don't be me.
Yeah.
Like
Be
that
you.
would have been cool.
That
like,
would have been
yeah,
better.
like that makes
your
more
own
sense
hero.
to me. But then it's just like another AI, and also his upgraded suit doesn't have AI. I want to say that.
What was the AI like name again?
He named it in. Oh, I just watched Homecoming like a few weeks ago too.
Was it with a K?
No, it was, well, I don't even remember now.
But his AI was pretty cool.
But it was a cool AI, yeah.
She was
like,
real nice.
Yeah, and then not an upgraded suit. Besides the point.
Yep.
But I don't understand the point of giving him these glasses, and it was
Like
it's just
you said,
a new AI.
Like
It's just
you
a plot
said,
point.
it's a plot point for
That's
the
the issue I
antagonist to
had.
get.
Yeah, but that's the issue
really
I
it.
had. I had some issues with Mysterio, but not like anything. Like I liked Mysterio, but like I didn't like how it was a group.
It was a group effort.
Yeah.
I actually like that.
You like that?
But
I don't know how I felt
but
about that.
I would speak more of that. On
Yeah,
the
when we're
podcast.
talking about like the positives. But that's really all I have, honestly. I don't think I have too many very large like gripes with it.
Mhm.
But Lou seems like he has the most.
What's the weird thing?
I
What do you
actually
not? You not have the
Um,
most?
No.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
at least I don't think so.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
But
gonna-
anything
I'm
that
just
rubbed
gonna
you off the
go.
wrong
Yeah,
way.
but what didn't you
I'm
like?
actually
What's
the
your-
opposite with you guys. I mean, if to the fans and supporters, I mean, if you guys know me, you know I'm a huge Iron Man fan.
Right.
I kind of have a love-hate relationship with his role in the MCU because his role in the MCU not only bolstered his character and saved the like Marvel,
I'm gonna say it.
But-
I mean, yeah.
it also got Iron Man shitted on as of recently because of movies like this. When Spider-Man: Homecoming came out, all I heard, I for like 2 straight weeks, I didn't even hear anything good about the movie. All I heard was how much people hated the fact that Iron Man was in the movie for
I feel
like
that.
a solid 2 weeks, and it hurts as a fan because it's like, well, y'all don't understand what he meant, what
Yeah.
he means
I
to this
know.
universe.
That's
But I
what
get
I
it
was
as a
saying.
Spider-Man fan.
Yeah.
I
Well,
fully understood.
It's
With
just
this
invaluable movie. That's all.
with this movie, the Stark influence felt right because of where we are now in the MCU.
I agree.
Yeah.
It makes nothing
Post-mortem.
but sense.
Yeah,
now
I
to
absolutely
the
agree.
diehard Spider-Man fans, I listen. I 100% understand, but I don't have that same feeling because the fact that Tony Stark gets so much light in the MCU is nice for us fans because in the comics he's been nothing but a drunk asshole. Even when he had his little shift, it still wasn't much of a shift. You know, the movie saved his character, and the movie made him more lovable.
Well,
a
maybe
lot of
an
people,
A-list character
yeah,
now.
a lot
He
of
was a C.
yeah. Now he
Yeah,
is arguably sometimes leading Avengers. You know what I
For
mean?
real.
So it's like
Absolutely.
Mhm.
But like
You
I
know.
said, I came to terms with that.
right.
personally. So I didn't really let it
The
drag
whole
me
reason I
down.
said that is because
You
like
have
I
to come to
actually
terms with it.
You
I
do.
actually get irritated when I got irritated when I saw that Mysterio, his whole vendetta isn't even that he's from a different universe or he's from the future or any type of gadgets like that or he wants to even be like famous.
Right.
It's that he hated Tony Stark.
He got fired.
because he fired him.
Because he's fired
So
him and stole.
now we have characters that are kind of like bashing on who he was as a character.
Yeah.
Completely forgetting that he saved the universe. I don't truly believe that like anybody on Earth would look any negatively towards Tony Stark if this alien wiped out half of us and then all of us came back because of this.
Plus, I
thing.
can't even hold you.
Except you're a Sokovian. I can understand if you hate him.
But even so, if you're Sokovian, you lost half your family 5 years ago. He brought them back 5 years later. I get
Yeah,
the, like
I
the
feel that.
island, but that's 100,000 to the entire
But
population.
I can't even
I'm
hold
just
you
saying,
like
I'm
for
saying.
real.
What?
I bet you in one movie coming out, I don't know what movie it'll be, but it'll be like it'll explain the Mysterio thing. Like maybe the next Spider-Man they'll be like it'll be like, oh, he said Tony Stark fired him and so was that deal, and then it'll come out that like Tony Stark low key like didn't even fire him, like it was some other.
Or
like,
he probably
it was-
fired him because
it
he was
was
trying
an
to
HR
steal
thing.
things or
Exactly,
something,
yeah,
you know
like
what
he
I mean?
was-
Because it
You're
doesn't make
drunk.
sense. Like Tony Stark
Yeah.
would go down the fire somebody.
Exactly.
Because like the way corporations work,
Right.
the
Especially
boss
if
doesn't
he's
have
using
any
it.
info. Yeah.
But like if he's using that, like why wouldn't he be like, yo, who made this?
Yeah, like
push him up. You know what I
I
mean?
feel like it would end up
I'm
being, like-
using this for something like
Yeah.
presentation. Obviously, he liked
unless
it.
Right.
it was in his like extreme douchebag pre Iron Man 1
which
stage.
it wasn't because it was during
wasn't.
Civil War.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It was
It was during Civil War, so absolutely wasn't.
it was after he already made his transition
Yeah.
to being a better person.
So it really wouldn't surprise me.
This was like his woke stage where he's like, I gotta say more.
Yeah, so it
yeah,
wouldn't
like I
happen.
got to do whatever I can.
Yeah.
Now, a couple of mine are kind of combative to what you guys say.
Okay.
Like, another issue I had with Mysterio is, like I said, it seems to me the MCU can't decide if they want to stay grounded or if they want to push the imagination.
I feel you know.
Because all of our heroes for so long have been like, okay, yeah, damn, that kind of makes sense. Like, if gods existed, Thor would be a god. You know, if superheroes existed, Captain America would make sense because, okay, here's a super serum. Oh, let's hide it because they're trying to replicate it. Oh shit, it's lost. Now there can be no more Captain Americas. There could just be him and the closest thing you can get to him, which we've seen all over through, you know, Black Widow, the USSR guy. What's his name?
USSR.
He's like a super soldier from Russia.
Oh, the Winter Guard.
Yeah. Like, and then you have like
Crimson
soldier.
Crimson
Dynamo?
Crimson Dynamo.
Yeah, so like
I mean, plus Hulk is a failed super soldier.
yeah, like Hulk, like literally all these like crazy characters that we know about are from the MCU stake, all failed replicas of this super soldier serum. So like to me it all makes sense. They're trying their hardest to keep it grounded. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
We've talked about how like none of these characters come even close to how strong they are in actual like
No,
comics.
absolutely.
They're
not.
depowered as hell.
Yeah,
Even
absolutely.
Thanos.
Yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Of course, man. Like, come on now. Like, Captain Marvel, get that? You funny. Like, you're funny, boy. Like, you're real funny, yo.
But yeah, so it's like, you know, up until we hit like Guardians, honestly, most of these movies have been very grounded, you know.
Right.
Iron Man's villains have been nothing out of the ordinary. Like even Extremis was some failed whatchamacallit, and
That was weird for real.
Whiplash
That was
was
weird.
a dude who had the same tech as Iron Man or
Right.
the same knowledge as Iron Man because his dad worked with him. That was a cool
Quote-unquote
thing.
stole.
Yeah, stole.
Stole.
So it's like they seem to keep all these characters grounded, but then you get to Guardians, and here's a little orb where if you look close enough, there's like Celestials.
Right.
Destroying some planet.
Yeah.
And then you have mention of like Doctor Strange, and then we see this nigga Dormammu in the dark dimension.
Right.
You know, and he's literally in like a wiggly galaxy.
But I think that's kind of cool. It broadens the world. It makes it
Right. And see, this is and this is where I'm getting to.
Yeah.
So we've had the grounded and we've had the extreme, right?
Yeah.
Now we have Spider-Man: Homecoming,
Far
which
From
let
Home, or Homecoming?
I'm sorry, Far From Home.
Okay.
It seems like they made them backwards.
It is
Far
kinda-
From Home should have been first.
Yeah.
Homecoming should have been the sequel.
Homecoming, if anything, should have been like the last one.
At least the title goes,
Right,
not
yeah.
necessarily the movies, but the title absolutely.
I feel it.
But you know, through these trailers, I would talk to you guys and I would say stuff like, you know, they're going to introduce the multiverse and look at it. Oh, from my world, your Earth, my Earth, this and that. Like, we're really about to blow this shit up to crazy proportions. And then we get to this movie.
I knew this.
He references 616, and it almost seems as just on a fan service whim to say 616.
You know his universe that he mentioned is Captain Britain.
Is that
Brilliant.
Britain's
That's
universe? I
Captain-
figured it was. I didn't look into it at all.
And I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, so you guys made a joke of the multiverse, but you want to talk about stuff like Thanos and the Skrulls and,
Right.
you know, we're talking about Celestials and other movies, and we have the different dimensions with Dormammu and stuff like that, and it's like, damn, why not just make him from the other universe?
Right. And
Like,
I wanted that.
It made 100%
But that would
sense
be like
for the
Spider-Man.
ancient one to be like, yo, if you do this, it's going to fuck up.
Yeah.
And the Hulk being naive, no, we'll just fix it. And ancient
I
one's
don't
like, I
think
mean...
Spider-Man movie is in that place to do that.
Now-
I think,
Now,
I think the
okay,
importance
hear
of a
me out.
Spider-Man movie is...
Now, the reason I feel like Spider-Man would have been the perfect thing to do it is because on Facebook I made this post saying, like, Tony Stark would essentially pass on his, I guess, how do you say it, his place in the MCU to Spider-Man.
Oh, 100%,
He's
yeah.
already been the father figure.
Right.
Why not be the next superhero to take his place? So you have Iron Man who, let's just say, like started the MCU. Like
Yeah.
he is the heart of the MCU,
Yeah.
right? Then you pass everything down to this young man, Spider-Man, who is so young and such a good character and has so much young support around him that I even said in this live video yesterday that Marvel can make nothing but Spider-Man movies for the next 10 years and still
really
have
will.
so much content to keep you interested for the
absolutely.
next 10 years.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't even hear an X-Men, Magneto, or Silver Surfer, Fantastic. Nobody.
You know
You
what
wouldn't
they
have
will
to
do,
hear
right?
anyone.
Yeah.
They will
but
do Park in
Spider-Man.
Industry.
Oh.
Like, because they're wanting to do like what 10 movies? They could do Park in Industry.
Yeah, they could.
Tony Stark could literally leave his will. Saying,
Yeah,
like,
like,
when you turn
that's-
30 or 20 something.
Yeah.
That's
you
another
have
thing
this-
I didn't like. If they're gonna make it so that Peter's using all this stuff, and we know in the comics at some point Peter gets Parker Industries due to Superior Spider-Man's help, I highly doubt that they're ever gonna bring in Superior Spider-Man.
No,
No
well,
way.
I just-
Superior
no.
Spider-Man is
Well,
absolutely
first
not
off, you need
happening.
Doc Ock.
Right,
But
and I feel like when they
they're gonna
bring in
make
Doc
him
Ock,
like a billionaire.
Man, you
because-
need like 30 years of Doc Ock to make
right.
that story
So
realistic.
it's like we're not gonna get Parker Industries that way,
Yeah.
or through Reed Richards in any case of the Future Foundation funding or anything like
Right.
that. So you have Tony Stark dying. and Pepper Potts no longer wants to be in the Marvel universe. Why not just?
Paltrow.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
same.
I get what you
Gwyneth
mean,
Paltrow just doesn't care for it. So you
Right.
lost the two owners of the industry. Why not just say, okay, kid, your intelligence rivals mine. I know you have a great heart, and I know you'll know what to do with these and make the right moves. Here is Stark Industries. Make it your own. I want to rename it Parker Industries.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's going to come. I think that's going to
And
come
I feel
later,
like-
though.
For real,
And
I don't
I mean-
have an issue with that.
It could, and it could, because he is still only like what 16 in this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
which
technically
doesn't
that's
make sense.
that's where we're leading to, because their connection is going to be forever.
Yeah.
And trust me, I guarantee you that there's a will, and eventually they're going to reveal it later on.
And honestly, I don't actually have an issue with that.
I mean, you have to accept it, even though I'm not a big fan,
Right.
but that's the way they're going. That's the way
I
they're
don't
going.
think
But
it's
see,
inherently a bad idea.
I don't
just
either.
think it
I
needs to be
actually
written
want that.
well.
I'm actually annoyed that it hasn't.
I'm not
even been talked
annoyed.
about.
Right.
I'm not
But,
annoyed.
But before we get
sorry, yeah.
before we get too far though,
Yeah.
with the Mysterio thing, with how he wasn't from another Earth,
I knew
which
that
is
was
true,
coming.
obviously.
Mm-hmm.
They don't technically deconfirm that there's other Earths though.
Right.
Well, remember,
and
Doctor
that's another
Strange
thing.
Yeah.
has like confirmed
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
multiple.
they don't
Yeah.
actually deconfirm that there is another Earth. They just know he's not from one.
I mean,
Right.
technically,
So technically-
it confirms that this universe is 616.
Yeah, it confirms that this is 616, and it confirms that there are others.
Okay.
So technically, they don't say no, he was lying. There's no. They never say there's no
Right.
other.
True.
Earths.
True. I guess it's because like it kind of just.
Technically.
And another thing is the illusion thing. Like
Right.
I actually agreed with you guys. I didn't like. Well, you actually liked it. I agree with. Wait, one of you. I can't remember who
Which
said
one?
it. The fact that it was a group effort.
Oh, I liked it.
Oh,
He
I
did.
did like
Yeah, I actually
I
agree
was-
with G. I didn't like it off the
Yeah.
strength of I understand who Mysterio is.
Yeah.
So it's like at least keep his power. Like my thing is, what was wrong with making him from the future? Like you could say if you wanted him to be like a repercussion of Stark's actions, just say, okay, I'm from this point in time where because Stark did this and he did this to my family, I've been spending all my time trying to get revenge.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
So
yeah.
over the years, I've stolen Stark parts, mixed them with these alien parts. Now my tech is on some crazy level.
Right.
Here's your illusions. You know what I mean? Like y'all could have still done that. Now introduce the whole knowledge of understanding the multiverse. This is 616.
Yeah.
I'm 109,620 or whatever the hell they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
Nah, yeah, I
you
never-
guys are kind of like teasing us with shit that I feel like would be only right coming from the Spider-Man movie because Tony Stark is passing the torch to this kid.
Right.
Yeah.
I always thought Spider-Man could have been the heart of the multiverse. Because let's be honest, he is the greatest superhero of all time.
He's even said in the comics that
Bro,
he becomes the
and
greatest.
in the live video I made, I even said it. Your favorite superhero has told Spider-Man he is the greatest superhero.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if he is the greatest superhero, or inevitably will be, it just makes perfect sense for everything that we see. Why not make him the heart of it now?
I feel you.
Like from here on
Yeah,
out,
I
he sparks the multiverse. He creates and
It's better than Captain Marvel.
absolutely 100%. I'm not saying he needs to lead the Avengers, but as far as like his overall theme,
No, he's
for
100
movie,
more. He's the heart.
having it because he has all of Stark's shit.
Yeah.
He has Stark's legacy. He has everything he needs to continue being the greatest superhero he could
Right.
possibly
He
be.
has the Spider-Man fan base, and then the Tony Hawk blessing.
Right.
Yeah,
so he has the
100%.
best of both worlds. Like there's nobody looking down on this kid.
Yeah, honestly.
Nobody
Except
besides
himself.
like villains.
Except himself.
And then himself. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it's just his low self-esteem and not thinking he's good enough.
Right. And I know there's a couple others, but I can't think of them right now. The one thing that keeps striking off in my mind is the end,
Yeah.
where they revealed his identity. What I didn't like was that they killed off Mysterio.
Yeah, I felt like they're back on that trope.
I didn't
again.
like that, but
But he has the final last laugh, though.
also,
I did like that.
I mean, they could spin it and say it was
It was
an
a
illusion.
trick, yeah.
If they want to, they.
Well,
could.
because remember, we didn't see that scene
Yeah.
when he did that
Or
trick.
we could
True.
actually get a Mysterio from a different universe.
True, we could, and he'll be like, "I'm from this," and he'll be like, "I know you're lying," and he'd be like, "What? I'm not lying."
He'll be like, wait, I'm not.
Like,
or
I'm not.
or he'll be like, I know what happened to the Mysterio of this universe. He was
Yeah.
an idiot.
Yeah, or
Like,
he'll
he
be
was-
like,
he,
"Hey,
like,
yo,
he
you,
was too ahead of
you
himself.
straight up killed my A1 other Earth goon."
Like we were in cahoots. That's how we knew about the multiverse.
Like that was my goon, bro.
But I will say I kind of did like the reveal only because in the comics he reveals his own identity during Civil War.
Right.
He goes up with Tony Stark, hey kid, let's do this, and
Right.
he's like, hey, I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah, yeet.
Boom. Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Right.
The world goes crazy. The world goes nuts. Now he has to deal with those repercussions.
Yeah.
But it's okay because Stark gave him this new Iron Spider armor. You know, here's a little more protection. It'll be a lot harder for your villains to really fuck with you now.
Right.
Cool. In the MCU, we have no more Iron Man.
No protection.
No.
Civil War already happened.
Yeah.
So the only opportunity you had to reveal his identity, the nigga wasn't even part of the MCU for real.
Yeah.
No.
So it was like, damn.
He was baby.
Let's
man.
fucking introduce him for what, 15, 20 minutes and then reveal his identity in Civil War? No.
Oh, yeah, that's not gonna happen.
We're not gonna
Yeah,
do that. So
You
let's
have to
give him
establish a character.
right. So let's give him 3 features and 2 solo movies. Now we'll reveal his identity because now we don't have Iron Man to help do it for the registration
You don't
act.
have Captain America.
You don't have Captain America to go against it. So it's like, okay,
You don't? You gonna say it me? Falcon ain't Captain America?
You're half white. Okay?
Yo, my mom who's white loves Captain America.
First
Falcon.
off, him and Spider-Man didn't have the best conversation in Civil War.
You're crazy.
Remember, Spider-Man knocked
this
his
is
ass
true.
off.
Yo, you're
him
crazy.
and Steve had a good
Yo, I
conversation.
can't believe you're saying
But
that
that's
about
besides the point.
Clarence. It's
Clarence,
crazy.
this guy's a rapper. He's
But-
not-
So those are
But
good.
no, I actually say I like that because it's almost the best possible way. If I'm lying, it's not the best possible way.
It's not, but it's
if
what they can do.
If they could have done it, it should have came from Norman.
I feel that in a way.
Like we should have waited till because I truly believe that the Green Goblin is going to be their Joker. They're going to make the Green Goblin.
I
their
don't
chump
think
card.
he's going to
I
come
don't think.
from college.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's gonna be Venom or Carnage. I think when we get them, it's gonna be crazy. But right now, the Green Goblin is gonna be the big wig of the Spider-Man
That's his
theme.
greatest supervillain of all time.
Now,
no matter what.
whoever I can't say the Green Goblin's actor will be the best. You know,
I don't.
like,
That depends who they get.
you know,
from.
not everyone can be Willem Dafoe.
They got
They
J.K.
got
Simmons
J.K.
back.
Simmons.
They did. That was dope as hell.
Having Willem Dafoe as an older Norman Osborn
Would
would
be
be
interesting.
very interesting.
Right.
But you know, he'd be pretty damn old.
Yeah. Well, he's like
So-
in his 60s now, I think. But
Yeah.
what I will say about the secret identity reveal is I don't know if I like it or don't like it. I have to see what they do with the next movie.
Well, what I'm thinking that they're going to do is now they're going to use that as fuel for the rest of his
Well, no,
villains.
but no, I can't even hold you. I already know how they're gonna fix it. I have 2 theories now. Ben knows one of my theories.
Miles.
Miles. It's not gonna happen.
It's too early
But it's just a
now.
funny theory.
No,
my other theory that I think
I
is,
actually think we're going to get hit of Miles in the next movie.
oh, I think
I
Miles
think
is
there's gonna
coming
be a
sooner
Miles.
than people think.
I think Miles Easter egg is next movie.
But
I
no,
can almost bro, I
honestly,
can feel it. Third
that
movie
ass-
introduce Miles. By 5th movie have him like
Oh,
a big.
he'll be a thing.
Oh my
He's
God.
coming sooner than
He's like
people
10
think.
years old probably. He probably didn't get blipped.
Nah,
He's already snapped.
no, he's gonna be like 13 or 14.
Yeah.
By this movie, he's probably like 13 or 14.
Or he didn't get blipped.
No,
so
he didn't.
So he got jumped
No,
up.
he's probably 13 or 14 because he didn't get blood.
Right, and that'll put him closer to Peter's
Exactly.
age,
Which I don't like. Which I do not like.
now, for MCU purposes, it would make sense.
It would be the best way
Because
to get
that's
him into the
literally
MCU if they really wanted.
that's literally
But-
the easiest way they could do it.
Biggest issue though is because Miles is there to replace Peter. What, you're gonna have Tom Holland die? No,
No.
he's not gonna die.
It'll be
No,
this
but
is
what
like
they
how the
could
top,
do
like,
is have him go into space.
Spider-Man will be like
When
the,
he was
he'll
rocking with
be
the Guardians for
Earth
that very
thing.
very short run.
I know.
I bet you they're gonna. And I still don't think it'll happen till college. I think we might get Miles here and there in the movies, but I don't think Miles will be Spider-Man until
No, we're
college.
gonna introduce him like how in the PS4
Yeah,
game.
right. And how
Like he's
it'll
there.
happen, I'm sure.
It'll be like the kid from Iron Man 3. Miles will
Yeah.
just be there.
There.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Peter might have to save him from something.
Right.
Yeah,
and
obviously.
Miles
Because what
will
they'll
be
probably
like,
do is make
yo-
his dad like a big deal. Like his dad is trying to,
But the
as a
detective
cop
police
who's trying to
officer,
help.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
He gets in cahoots with Spider-Man
Right, I
to
could
take
see
down.
something like that.
Let's say they introduce Kraven.
Yeah.
So now Kraven's on the hunt. We
Yeah.
like the police are looking. Here's
Right.
our best detective, Spidey. This
Right.
is all we can offer you.
Yeah.
You know, Jefferson Davis. How are you?
Yeah. What's that's gonna happen
Yeah.
is Spider-Man's gonna take up the Iron Man mantle. Spider-Man's gonna be an Earth defending
An
hero,
Earth
and, Miles,
hero,
and
yeah.
Miles will be a New York hero.
Obviously,
That's what it's
something
gonna
like
be.
that.
But the real theory on
Okay.
how they're actually gonna fix this.
How you
Because
think?
Spider-Man's gonna go with the Avengers and shit. when
No,
those movies
the
drop.
tie-in, because if we're not even talking about Miles at all.
Oh, okay.
How they're gonna fix the secret identity being stolen is Deadass gonna beat the Skrulls. They're gonna have since we know in the end
Yes.
credit scene it's the
Yes.
Skrulls are on Earth. They're just Deadass gonna have I'm not Spider-Man. Peter's gonna be on the ground, and then they're gonna have a Skrull in the Spider-Man outfit.
You know,
That's what it was, and he's gonna be doing something
know what
like
I think-
Peter can't be Spider-Man. That's
you know
what
what?
it's gonna be.
That just jogged my mind for a second. You remember at the end of Homecoming when Aunt May said, "What the?"
Yeah.
Because she saw his identity, and guess what happened? We go to Far From
Yeah.
Home, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Because it's safe
What
to
you
assume
just
whatever
said-
happened in Infinity War.
What you just said
Right.
might be like they'll fix it in the first 10 minutes.
Oh, absolutely.
Or
I think
like,
absolutely.
or like the scrolls that were
Yeah.
Fury and Maria Hill.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Oh, we can help you. let me just transfer to Spider-Man,
Right.
and then you're Peter Parker, and you'd be like, see, this is not me.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
why
be-"
I'm saying, like...
And they reveal their face, it would be somebody else.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I don't know if I like it or not yet. It really depends on what they
It just takes away the shock value when
Yeah.
you could have done it for something
I
way
can't
more
hold
impactful.
you. That makes sense because when Beck was talking about everything, how essentially Spider-Man killed me. We see from his feet to his waist, Spider-Man.
Exactly.
So all we know is that Spider-Man was there, and then when he says it's Peter Parker, you see his school ID.
Yeah, it's a school ID.
So
for real,
they've never
real,
seen him in the suit.
Yeah, they're gonna definitely
they
spin
could,
something.
Yeah, they can make it work. But
I wanna
because
jump
Beck
to-
is so like lovable,
Yeah,
at this
he's
point.
a good guy to them.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I want to
continue.
jump to what we like. The
Right?
pros.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Ben, you wanna start again?
Ben,
I'll start. Okay, I got a few points. I love that love was a primary force in this movie.
It was.
Just because early Spider-Man was always about building relationships, whether it's like friendship
Bro, he's
or
in high
relationship.
school. It's a
That.
teenager.
And I love that it wasn't done inappropriately. Basically, like, it had John Hughes feel, which I appreciate
Yeah.
that they had from the previous movie, because the movie feels like kind of like an 80s, like, you know, Breakfast Club type of thing, and I thought that was perfect for the cast.
Mm-hmm.
Then I love what you didn't like was the Mysterio reveal. I thought just because it was a group effort and it wasn't like a solo thing, I actually liked the group thing. Just because, like, when you're making a movie, when you're making something like big and spectacle, you need a team. And, you know, look, a lot of people hate Stark. Now, okay, just because he saved the world.
Yeah.
You're right.
It
It
is
doesn't
weird
matter.
to
You
hate
see how he
someone
tries
who
to hit my
saved-
soul?
It's
You
weird
see
to-
how he's hitting my soul
Well,
now?
hate someone who
first,
who literally saved the entire...
first off,
The whole
okay,
universe.
look,
Literally, he
But
brought
people be
back
petty.
from the
well,
universe.
look,
So, like,
even
I'll
in
let
today's
them
world,
hold.
people hate lovable people.
Yeah, people
and
be petty,
guess
so I
what?
can't hold them.
Yeah, I'm awesome.
I-
and I have shit tons of enemies.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's like,
So, but I liked it. I thought it was good as a team, and I liked the reveal, how he waited for Parker to leave, how he got the glasses, and he was just, and you thought it was him controlling people.
Yeah, I thought he had the whole bar like it
But
was
no,
like a stick
it was
up.
all a
And I was like,
CG.
okay, like, oh, like that's savage, low key.
But no,
like I'm fucking with that.
I
And
just
then it
liked
was
it.
like everyone was like, and I was like, oh.
I liked it because then he was like, "We got it, man! We got it! We
Yeah.
did it!"
it's such a
And-
change. You went
and-
from a
He said, somebody get this suit on.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody
And
get-
it
I
was
was like, I'm
a
down
good
with y'all.
twist and a good change.
I do think it was a good twist.
And how he explained like where everyone, like how they're involved and how they got like mistreated. Yeah, maybe the mistreat of like his motivation is kind of weak.
The one
but-
boy wasn't even mistreated by Tony. It was like Obadiah's stain. And I was
Yeah.
like, why are you
Yeah.
here, nigga? Like that was so
But
long ago.
that reveal was pretty good. And
No, I don't think it was a
And-
bad reveal.
the one scene which was beautiful was the second Mysterio illusion scene when Peter was on the bridge.
Oh yeah.
And when he just had to trust his instincts when he was. Just
Oh, you mean the
playing-
spider sense scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking.
That was beautiful just
Yeah.
because it was the last stand and he has to do
Yeah.
this. He has to trust himself. And I loved it. It was a Peter Parker that had no backup. Like legit, like the whole premise of the movie was you're all alone, Parker.
Yeah.
You're all alone. Like, because remember in the boat scene, Tony had to save
Yeah,
them.
Tony
had
saved
to save them for that type of scene. And then this scene when you have the whole city of London possibly it's gonna get wrecked, it's up to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And he had to trust himself. And I thought that was a good character build for him. And I thought, like, if we get... And you know what? The slow motion scenes in this movie were fantastic.
Yeah, I like those.
The slow motion when he stopped the drone from the bus. I
Oh,
thought it was
yeah,
really good.
yeah.
And then, I don't know, a lot of the slow motion, a lot of the visual effects, all the Mysterio visual effects scenes
Oh, yeah.
were freaking fantastic.
Absolutely.
They were a mind trip that I hadn't seen since Doctor Strange.
Honestly, like they had like a lot of good twists in here that like I didn't actually see. Like when it wasn't Nick Fury in the one,
No
it
one saw
wasn't
that.
Nick Fury
No one
like
saw
the
that.
entire time. I was like,
I
that's
will
interesting.
say, and I saw this on an Easter egg too, and when I was watching that Easter egg video, I said the same exact thing because it threw me the hell off. It threw me off on like crazy
What?
levels, but for some reason I couldn't think Skrull because my mind wasn't at Skrull. I never expected this movie to link to the Skrulls.
Nah, same here.
Oh,
But it makes
I
sense
think-
about their dialogue.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And that's what it was, the dialogue. When
Yeah.
Peter was like, yo, why do I need to be here? Where's like Thor?
Everyone else,
He's like
yeah.
off world. He's like, what about Captain Marvel? He said, don't invoke her name.
Yeah,
He
he's
said,
like,
"Don't you dare say her name."
her
And I was
name.
like,
I was
why
like-
the fuck did Nick Fury
I was
just
like,
act like that?
yeah, I was like, Nick Fury definitely would not.
And,
does not
and,
even
makes
balance
sense.
him
And-
out.
and from that point on, I was like, okay, Nick Fury is head ass for the rest of this movie. I just can't trust him. There was something so off about him the entire movie. Then I see this Easter egg video, and it showed like You should have known it was Talos when he said don't invoke her name because Talos looks at Captain Marvel as like
there's
damn near
also
godly.
one that there's a line in there that I didn't even think about until I literally just saw this morning.
Mm-hmm.
It was like in the trailer for Farm Home, it was like he's from another world, just not ours. But in the movie, he says he's from, like he's talking about Mysterio. He's from just not yours.
Yes.
And I was like,
I didn't even peep
it. And then like when I saw that, I was like, oh, they were setting that up throughout the whole movie. But plus, back to the Mysterio scene, the fact that it wasn't Nick Fury like the whole time, like that,
Makes sense. It makes sense about dialogue because people would have ripped this movie for like how Nick Fury acted.
Yeah, like
that makes
but
sense.
I'm not even talking about the Skrull twist. I'm talking about in the scene where it's like when like he meets up with Nick Fury and Nick Fury's talking about it, and then remember Maria Hill turns out to be fake.
Yeah,
and then
an illusion. Yeah.
It's like
and
everything
then he was an illusion, right?
Yeah,
right,
everything is illusion. You're like, oh wow.
He made like the whole crew an illusion.
Yeah, that actually was a really good twist.
Yeah, like that was good.
Building was
the entire building was an illusion. Plus the end scene where grips the gun before it even shoots.
That was so
tough.
He
aims
that
it off him.
So
I was like,
tough.
Wow,
that
was
scene
tough
was one of the toughest scenes I've seen.
Yeah,
from
I was
anything
like,
in Spider-Man.
I was like, wow, that was dope as hell. But
because I like, bro, with Mysterio, I could never figure out what was real and what wasn't.
Yeah, and I like that.
And even when he was in the bullshit suit, it was an illusion at the one point. And then he put the gun to him, and I was like, "Yo, that's crazy."
Well, you know what? It did what Captain Marvel couldn't do was like, can you trust the person next to you?
Yeah.
And guess what? This movie had Skrulls.
Yeah,
and they did it better.
But they don't even come up in the movie.
They don't even come up.
But I like
this movie had nothing to do with Skrulls, but somehow
real.
it had all the Skrulls.
Yeah.
It had more Skrulls than Captain Marvel.
But it did good about not trusting because remember when Peter's so happy, he's like,
"Are
you real?"
Yeah, he was like, "Dude, name something only happy would know."
What did he say? You remember when
it was like when they were room together or something like that, and you bought that adult movie.
Yeah.
When you went to Germany.
Yeah, when you went to Germany, and you bought that movie, and I was
like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
But also, side note, I like the Betty Brant and Ned Leeds.
That was pretty good.
Technically, in the comic books, they do get together. They do get a kid.
Yeah,
but I like the little nod for their relationship.
I thought it was fun.
I thought it was cute until they hit that dumb stuff at the end where it was like,
summer love.
Some people just grow up.
Yeah, I
summer love. I said, yo, Ned, if you don't shut the fuck up,
I was like,
get the fuck out of this movie, like.
I definitely like that too.
I kind of wish we had more man of the chair, Ned Leeds.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of that in this movie.
That was.
But I feel like it was on purpose.
Yeah,
it was supposed to show that Peter can be a hero without anyone, really.
Yeah. Plus, he had all the Stark tech. So anything he needed from a man who would be in a chair, he had Edith. So it didn't matter.
But the biggest thing I liked was basically everyone loves this. Is basically who's running Fact Channel. J.K. Simmons as JJJ.
Yeah, J. Jonah Jameson.
That was the biggest surprise.
That was probably like one of my favorites.
The fact that they got him back for the role was fantastic.
Spider-Man.
I was like, you're tripping. They
got him back, and props up Disney. Props up Kevin Feige.
That was one of the best movies y'all could have made.
Yep.
Honestly, like that was top tier.
Like goddamn, like literally, there's only one better move you can make, and that is Willem Dafoe as Goblin. But that's not gonna happen. So this J.K. Simmons,
the Goblin.
I appreciate that.
Oh, they had to get him. There's no one else that could have played the role.
So do you have any more?
No. I like the soundtrack. I love the visuals. This movie was it was a good summer film to watch during the summertime.
Yeah, it was.
It's a really good summer film, but overall, good movie.
Yeah. You want me next or you?
I'll go. Yeah, I don't have too many, but I wanna piggyback off of what Carvin Chicken said about the visual effects, man. Like these are some of the best visual effects I've seen out of like a live action movie in a long time, and everything that he was going through with these illusions, like was like getting you. Like we've seen some pretty good like crazy spectacle illusion type stuff that has you like, oh whoa, this is trippy. But the illusions Mysterio's putting on Spider-Man, it was really trippy because it's like he had him in different locations while summoning himself in different locations.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
And the smoke screens and just it was like, for anyone who knows about anime, it's like if you were being put in a genjutsu in Naruto, this is what I would imagine.
100%
You were
like that.
you were being.
Yeah, like you wouldn't know what was up.
Seriously, because you really didn't. There was one part where like he's beating him up through this whole little dark ass room. He punches him through a mirror, and then in actuality, he got punched out of like a building, and he fell on the car. You remember that?
Yeah, it was like the wrecking ball thing.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, this is crazy because that got me. Like I was so stuck in there with him that when he got knocked out the wall, I was like, oh damn, we were in a building.
Yeah, I was like,
okay.
Yeah, it was like literally like whenever it would go into that scene, I was like, he could just dead ass like walk off a building and like we would not know it. Like
another thing that oh my god, I truly loved, and it might have been my favorite thing about this entire movie. The web swinging was so good.
Yeah, good. I enjoyed that it had web swinging. Homecoming didn't have any.
Yeah, when they were in Rome and he was just going through like the whole streets, and I was like, yo, this looks so good, dude. He looks so fluid. He looks so comfortable, and that was really nice to see, man. I mean, the acting goes all around. Everyone did a good job doing what they were supposed to do. It's a Marvel movie. They have some of the best actors that we've ever seen, so it is what it is. I love the new spider suit.
I love
I
it.
like the color.
The color and the design, I think, looks dope as hell.
These guys had to explain to me that the black and red Spider-Man was the original Spider-Man.
Well, it was blue during the daytime, but black during night. It's like Batman suit.
Yeah. Okay. If it didn't have like light, it would look black. Okay. If there was like no light around it, it would look black.
That makes sense. But yeah, man, the suit looked good. I really enjoyed the fact that they made him a kid. Like his relationship with MJ and the fact that this whole movie was him finding love, like
just finding courage to like
even finding the courage to talk to her, even though like he kind of really didn't. She kind of did it all for him, but that's what made it cute. Like that's why I said this movie was so cute. Like everything about it was just it was so adorable to see.
Yeah, because you're seeing there are scenes where like when it was like, oh, were you only talking to me because you thought I was Spider-Man?
Yeah, and she was like, yeah.
And I was like,
and you know damn well she was fronting. She was fronting.
But the beater, he didn't know that, so I was like, damn, like I gotta feel for the bull. Yeah, I'm like, I feel for the bull because he really like thought like that he had her, and then she just kind of curved him, but then curved him through. But like,
but you can see in her face that like she was holding back.
Yeah, she was holding back, but Peter's like, you get in your bag, you can't even tell through. Yeah, so like he was just in his bag immediately. Was like, damn,
Well, yeah, remember because Mysterio broke his trust.
Exactly.
He's just lost another like figure that he could have looked up to.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he was very quickly feeling the Iron Man.
He was emotional.
And he was like, look, man, here's what you should do. Here's the advice. And he was like, yo, fuck all the bullshit. They need you. They don't need me. I'm a kid.
He said, I can't hold you. Keep it a buck.
Keep it a buck. They need you for real.
Oh.
They don't need me.
Damn.
I'm just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. You're a Mysterio fighting the nature.
You stopped the elementals.
He stopped the elementals. One thing that I really loved, it piggybacks off of the whole ideology of, remembering Tony Stark.
Yeah.
That grave scene fucked me up so heavy. It's probably like one of the only scenes that's fucked me up in a superhero movie, besides like when Iron Man first got stabbed by Thanos.
We all thought he was gonna die. I thought he was dead.
I almost had to stand up.
When that happened, me and G were in the theater like this.
I was like,
yo. No. And I was just shook, and I've never been that shook from a movie before because like we all know it's fake, we all know it's a movie, but I was dead ass shook. Like, hold on, I love this character. What are you doing? When Mysterio gave him that illusion, and that's why the Iron Man part made sense. Because it wasn't his illusions of his deepest fears; it was his illusions of what Mysterio knew.
Yeah, it definitely like
you know what
like
I mean?
I said, you just got to come to terms with everything.
Right.
At the moment you see a grave and you're like, that's not Uncle Ben.
Yeah, well,
and then when you see Stark, you're like, of course it's not Uncle Ben.
Yeah, the only reason I never expected Uncle Ben from the jump is because he would like. We've never seen Spider-Man talk to Mysterio about Uncle Ben.
Yeah, he never.
So it was like
barely brings up
he
Uncle
doesn't
Ben.
bring it up at all.
But like I said, that's
I mean, his suitcase still has
the was it BRP?
Benjamin Franklin.
No, it's not Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin.
Is it BRF?
No, it's Benjamin Franklin Parker.
Are you serious?
Ben Franklin. Hold on, it's BFK.
That sounds like such a Stanley thing.
It does for real. But
because apparently, I had just heard something that they said Benjamin Parker was based off of
the founding father Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, Benjamin Franklin.
I said founding father.
Yeah,
I can see that he was
actually. He has the same body type.
I keep confusing Parker and
plus he
Benjamin.
was technically the first representative of America. Technically, Franklin was.
So when you see that BFP on there, it's like okay, he still does cherish his uncle because he has. You know what I mean? And
they could later on in the movies.
What they're probably gonna do is let this Iron Man wave ride for these two, probably one more movie, because I truly think Miles, Norman, and Harry are all going to be introduced in the next movie. Maybe Harry and Norman will be introduced and Miles will be Easter egged and hinted at in like a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you Norman Osborn is coming in.
Harry was in college.
Technically, yeah.
Like
depending on which one you're going on.
Because I think they might go for that.
Because for real, they've been taking shit from every single incarnation.
Seriously.
Man,
They're just
mash them all
they're
together.
They just
combining
mash them all
it
together. So it just really depends on whatever they want to do. Because in Ultimate, Harry, he knew Harry in high school.
But yeah, I think when they introduce them is when we'll get the real depth to Ben.
Yeah.
To Ben
I
Parker
can see
because
something
we'll
like
have people who know Aunt May,
knew,
know
like,
his
Park,
family.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
What they're probably going to do is do something similar because Amazing Spider-Man actually took it from Ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't even remember if it was from Ultimate or not. But it was that Ben, or not Ben, fucking
James.
Norman, Harry.
Mm-hmm.
Harry and Peter were like childhood friends. Then Harry moved away to do like some boarding school and then he came back.
I can see that too.
So he'll be like, "Where's Ben?"
It's like
or
Norman.
something like that. "Where's Uncle Ben?" And
He's
then
like,
he'll
yeah.
be like,
How's Uncle
he
Ben?
wasn't there.
How's
when
Aunt
Uncle
May?
Ben."
He's
Exactly.
like,
Something
or
like
the
that.
first thing he'll say, or no, he'll probably see Aunt May and Peter, hug them both and be like, "Where's Uncle Ben?"
Exactly.
And then they're both just gonna be like,
Did he get blipped away?
Yeah, or they'll say something
They'll say some stuff like that.
But that would make sense because he'd be back at that point.
Or
If he
like,
blipped.
or like no, like I don't know.
Yeah.
They're always gonna reference the blip. The blip is gonna be
That's
the
true.
new Chitauri
Well, the
invasion.
or he'll probably think maybe the
Well,
like,
the blip is when they came back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean
The
That's
the
how
snap is
they-
when they're
that's how
gone. The
they-
blip is when they
decimation.
come
remember it.
That's what they call it.
Yeah, but is that all you had?
Let's see. You know, I love the web swinging. I loved the overall movie. It was
Yeah,
like I
I
said, it
actually
was really good, a
like
really
this
cute
movie
movie.
a lot, honestly.
Yeah, I think that might be it for me. The illusions, the Spider-Man himself did great. Mary Jane was cute. The elementals,
My baby.
they could have been better.
And elementals they're fake. They're not even
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
So, like, it
I mean, they're
doesn't
called
matter.
elementals. That's really a weak name.
Yeah, honestly, that's such a sci-fi
Yeah.
old shit. But if you don't got nothing, you got one more big one.
more about the end, and I
Well,
can't remember it.
if you remember it, we'll come back.
Yeah,
but
What you got?
for real, I don't really have much more. Like, I feel like there was like the
Everything's
shot.
covered.
Yeah, like there's a lot like the shot with London. Like, nah, it's actually Tower Bridge. But the Tower Bridge shot where it's like the cloud over it and it's like red and it looks. I'm like, yo, that's such a cool shot.
Yeah, that should
and
look good.
there was all kinds of stuff like where I really like how they played like AC/DC when they had.
When they played that brought me back to Iron Man
Yeah, I was
so
like, that's
much.
so that was cool.
When he was building the suit.
Right.
That's honestly one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, I really like that.
Just off the
scene.
strength that because what I loved about it is he was so naive.
Yeah.
Because we
he
as
was like Led
fans,
Zeppelin. I love
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin. I was like, that's
and
funny.
then all of us are like, damn, and we're
Yeah.
like this and shit. Especially if you're an Iron Man
For
fan,
real.
you're like, fuck that hits
like,
hard.
I thought
Because
that
then you
was
see
good.
Happy's face, and Happy is us.
Happy's like.
And Peter just has no clue. He's just so excited and so
He's like
curious.
seeing
Yeah.
like a time machine.
Right,
Right.
and then
Like,
Happy
damn.
sees him and he's like, "Damn, look at little Tony."
Right.
And Peter's just oblivious to it, so that's what
Yeah.
makes it so much more genuine. And I
No,
really
that
did
is,
love
yeah.
that.
Yeah, that scene did
But-
harken back.
Yeah,
Obviously-
that finishes it for me.
Obviously, I love MJ, my fucking queen
That's your
playing
baby.
MJ.
That's your baby. One day,
I will
when
fuck-
FCTV blows up, we're gonna interview Zendaya.
Yo, that's my queen. I'm with her from the
The
jump.
jam
You
chick
gotta
himself
keep
will be
it-
able
you
to
gotta keep it
interview,
calm.
and he won't explode into just.
And
We'll be
nothingness.
there.
It's
To
lit.
make sure.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, we're like,
MJ 's
all right, don't blow
lit.
up.
I like MJ because they do a lot with is she like a big one of those people who are like, oh, you want to call me pretty because I'm dressed up that
No,
means I
she's-
matter.
Yeah, she's
And
just
then-
like a
But
sarcastic.
they always lead it where she's just being sarcastic.
She's like,
and then she's like
enjoyed
really
that.
cute deep down.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It was just like a defense mechanism for her. I enjoyed that. The supporting cast as a whole was pretty good for real. Even I like how they did the Flash thing with he's always live streaming and shit.
But I also like how he like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, you get to say all the good things. Like
Yeah.
Spider-Man. What's up with you
Yeah,
and Spider-Man?
I like
think
that.
he's cool.
Yeah, he's like, yo, I love Spider-Man so much. Eat a dick, Parker. I love Spider-Man so much. It's
I'm like,
what
yo,
the
that's
hell?
funny. Ned is Ned.
Ned?
I like Ned.
I like Ned as a
I like
character.
Ned and
just
Betty.
like
I
Ned's
think they were pretty
character.
funny
And they're an
together.
adorable couple.
Yeah, I think they were funny. I'm actually low-key mad they broke up because I thought they
Yeah,
were funny.
same. I thought it was gonna be like a cute thing to keep bringing in. It
Yeah.
could be like the comedic relief if
Yeah.
Spider-Man wasn't enough.
I thought that would be funny. Obviously the Spider-Sense scene was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I don't
That
want to
whole
talk about
scene
that
was
because
dope as hell.
that whole scene was just lit. It was
Right.
him just walking through that hallway.
Right.
just jumping around from wall to wall,
Yeah.
avoiding everything he could on the way there.
For real, like it
was
looked
great.
awesome. It looked great. Like, and I brought this up with them. It almost looks like he's flailing because he's just kind of letting into like the sensation. Like he's not even thinking about it. So he's just kind of throwing his arms out and hitting things because he knows that they're there, but he's not overthinking. I just thought that was cool. There's like a few. There's a lot of things I like in here. Like the stealth suit was cool. Like it was just kind of in there. I feel like the stealth suit was kind of invented just to fill a plot point.
I felt like
Because
it was
they're
just there
like-
for merchandise. Because he didn't sneak.
So I feel that, but I feel like it was more put in there that it was like, if you really think about it, like, why would Spider-Man show up in Europe?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And I feel like they're just kind of, with the upgraded suit, they were just like, this is a big enough threat that would warrant Spider-Man being here right now.
Yeah,
So
since he was with the Avengers.
yeah, exactly. So it kind of like would make sense to me. I liked Happy a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
Happy
was
had
great.
like that pretty fun jokes.
Happy was
Him and
great.
Peter had a really cool relationship. There's just a lot. Like I liked a lot of this movie. There's really not a lot of things I disliked about this movie.
Yeah, no,
Like,
this
I actually
movie was a
really
great
liked this
movie
movie a
overall.
lot. Like
You wanna move on to possible theories?
yeah, we
and
can move
stuff?
on to like what we think's coming. Obviously, I've said a lot of what I think is probably coming with the identity thing. Miles, I think, is coming sooner than people think. I think people are thinking, oh, maybe 10 years. No, I think he's absolutely coming like within the next few movies of Spider-Man.
I think maybe,
Like,
the
maybe
ne-
if not the next one, the one
the
after.
fourth one for
Yeah,
sure.
for
That's a
real.
guarantee, 100%.
Obviously, I think like I don't know how far they're gonna go with this identity thing.
I think they're gonna do Secret Invasion. They have everything they need to do it.
I mean, I don't think they're
Besides-
gonna do Secret Invasion.
Well-
though.
Secret Avengers is Avenger. Okay.
But
Not even
like
because of
besides
that.
Tony Stark,
But-
like
The Skrulls are good guys to us.
But remember,
That's true.
Like
with
you
that,
can't even have.
well,
like,
no, not all.
Yeah,
Because
but-
I could guarantee you, Talos' son is probably pissed off, and he is aged, and he probably will come back as a villain.
See,
But
I think
the
he'll be
Skrulls,
a villain, sure.
But I think the Skrulls are going to retroactively retcon a couple of characters and stuff like that.
No, I agree.
Just
I
because,
agree.
like, they were just meandering. Like, the last time we saw Talos was in space, and like we never seen him come back.
Yeah.
So you know that means that a couple of Skrulls are in Earth.
I mean, you have to put in perspective. It's been like 25, almost 30 years.
It's been
since-
like at least 30
since
years. Remember, because
it was 95,
and there's been
and we have a 5-year time skip in the MCU now.
yeah.
So we got. It's technically what 2022, 2023, and
2022.
2022.
Wait, no,
it's
2023.
three.
Is it
three.
3?
Yeah.
So we're 2 years away from 30 years.
Yeah.
Like
So like
a lot of stuff happens.
they could
in
have
30
mass
years.
produced. They could have been
Yeah.
simulated already.
But I
so
feel
Secret
like
Invasion, I think, will be a lingering thing.
I don't think I,
I
just
think
don't-
we'll get Secret Invasion before we get Secret Wars.
I think you're gonna have like a couple
just
scenes.
I
because
just don't see it.
everything we need for Secret Wars hasn't even been
See,
introduced.
my
yet.
Well, we
issue
need
with
the
Secret
Fantastic
Invasion.
Four.
We need Doctor Doom.
My problem with Secret Invasion is that
And
to
Reed
us that makes sense. Like since we know the comics, we know everything about Secret Invasion. To people who just watch movies, they only know the Skrulls as good guys.
And
Like,
that's
like,
but
to me
they're
that's
gonna
exactly why
show-
Secret
but they
Invasion will be
show-
so
but, like,
impactful.
I don't think that
because
would
it's
make
like the
sense
biggest
to
betrayal.
people.
But I
If
think
they're like-
they'll eventually show some Skrulls being back.
If they
I think
do
it's gonna be
something
a
like that,
lingering thing.
maybe. But if they're like all of a sudden everyone was like, we were the Skrulls the whole time, we want to kill all the humans, people would be like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? Like you
know what-
need some build
You know what I
up
think
to
they
something
might do?
like that.
I think they might start using humans for their own agenda. I don't think they want to destroy humans. I think they might use humans to like maybe invade
if they wanted
of like different planets or stuff like that.
if they wanted, if it would have made more sense if they were like, hey, Earth is like a perfect place where we want to be.
Yeah.
We can do that. And I'd be like, okay, yeah, Secret Invasion. But like they've set so many different, just like weird standing points that I feel like it would just be weird now. Also, I'm almost like this side note. I'm also like pretty sure we're getting like a live action Spider-Verse movie. Like I feel like that's dead ass coming. Like 100%.
we still need him to
I think
grow
it's
up,
going to
though.
be after Miles.
Oh no,
or
I don't
something.
think he'll absolutely. I don't think he'll be grown up at all. I think it'll be a younger Peter,
I
a
don't either,
teenage Peter, and
because-
an adult Peter,
Yeah.
all teamed up. Like I
I'm
absolutely
not.
think.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Like-
the kid's been pushing for Andrew Garfield and Tobey
and
Maguire.
people-
So
Yeah,
and
but
it-
you could
people-
be
they might let us
pushing.
move.
It will always people will
No, the
always
only
want.
actor that I feel like will be kind of hard to do and work with is Toby.
I don't think.
I don't
so.
know. Toby in an interview said he'd be up for it.
Yeah, but like money. That's the thing. You know how he is.
Toby Maguire hasn't been in a
Toby
movie
can't.
since like
Listen,
Great Gatsby.
Toby
It
was so
doesn't
big
matter,
on money
but he's-
because Toby.
a gambler.
Let's be real. The Spider-Man movies of old like jump started these superhero
True.
movies. So of course he's gonna ask for money. It's like
Oh,
Robert Downey, bro.
I know that.
How much did Robert Downey get paid for Iron Man 1? $600K or something like that?
No, like 500,000.
Like 500,000. How much is he charging now?
75 million.
Percentages of these movies.
75 million
bro.
usually gets.
Like
So when you jumpstart something to that level, it's like Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is the only reason the X-Men are still popular.
Plus, he
here-
also got
But here's the thing. Tobey Maguire is not the star of the Spider-Man movie. It's Tom Holland.
See, I feel you, but here's my
but you're not understanding where I'm coming from. Back then, Tobey Maguire was
Yeah,
like
back
that
then.
because of who he was back then. Now, that's not Tobey no more. Tobey isn't Spider-Man anymore.
I
It's
mean,
Tom
but
Holland.
here's-
So why would he ever not be humble and just take this opportunity to
He's
be
a
that
hard
big
guy
star?
to work
My
with.
thing is, it doesn't matter because
That was 17 years
This
ago.
would be
You're highly underestimating this guy.
this
It's been
would
almost
be-
20 years.
I'm
This
not,
would be-
I would like him. I'm just saying, like, he's probably like a
No,
certain.
I'm not the same nigga I was last
I
year.
feel like
So I'm saying
actors
he's
are
been the
hard
same
I
for
feel like
17
20 years
years.
ago you can mellow out. Also, we're talking about Disney. Disney has infinite money. There's no amount of money.
Remember,
this
this is Sony.
It
It's
doesn't
Sony
matter.
partly. If this is MCU connected,
And they
if
can make
Sony's
shit-
like we're making this,
Do you realize how much money
Disney
they
can
can make if
literally
all
be
three
like,
of them
how much
come out?
do you need for it?
I know.
Like, plus, hard to work with. I don't think, from what I heard about Tobey Maguire is not so much that it's hard to work with. I've actually heard that Sam Raimi was pretty hard to work with. And I haven't heard really any complaints from any of Tobey Maguire's other movies.
Yeah, I've
so-
actually never heard anything about Tobey being anything
I mean,
but just,
Tobey Maguire's
wanting
a
money.
very low key guy. He doesn't like I don't think he's big on the celebrity life.
Oh.
Like
Yeah,
so.
I don't hear nothing about
Yeah,
him.
so like I feel like he would definitely do the movie.
Oh,
I
I'm
feel
not-
like that
I'm not-
movie's definitely coming.
I'm not
I feel like
opposed.
it's definitely.
I'm
coming.
just like, damn, everything's just moving.
Well, they
so
need all
fucking
three.
fast.
If one of them's out, they're not gonna make it.
Right.
And Andrew Garfield definitely is not gonna be out because of the money. And Tobey Maguire, Tobey Maguire already showed interest in doing something like that.
It was bullcrap.
Tom Holland's
about
already showed interest.
It was
in
kind of
so-
bullcrap.
What?
It's funny, and because like if you look at Tom Holland, young, then you look at Andrew Garfield, like almost mid-30s.
He was the oldest Spider-Man, the actor who played Spider-Man
Yeah.
at the time.
Then he's like in his mid-30s,
Mhm.
and then you have like Tobey Maguire, who's like almost 50, right?
Probably in his mid-40s at this
If you
point.
really think about it, you know what's funny about those three?
What?
It reminds me so much of Thor's. Of the
It is,
Jason
yeah,
Aaron
it
Thor,
is
where
like
you have
Thor.
young Thor,
Yeah.
current modern Thor, and then old Thor.
And I feel like that would be the movie to introduce Miles. Like you'll have Peter has to learn from these other Spider-Man, and then you'll have a Miles that's not Spider-Man yet, in like maybe as like on the side.
Now, does this Miles come from another universe or is he in our universe?
Yeah. I think it'll be ours.
It'll be from MCU.
Yeah,
I don't think
they want everything in house.
Yeah, I think it'll absolutely be from MCU still. When it comes to Miles, at least. But
Yeah, they already confirmed it. He said,
Yeah.
remember in Homecoming.
yeah, one thing
I got a nephew, man.
Yeah, I got a nephew out here, man. I don't really care for you, but
How am I be the rabbit?
one thing I am curious about is what they're building up with the Sam Jackson, with him being in a gigantic space station.
I think it's Sword.
You think it'll be Sword?
I
I feel
think
that. I do
100%
feel that.
Sword.
Gee,
A lot of
you know what it
a lot of
could-
people keep saying the Alpha Flight.
No,
Nah.
Alpha Flight.
Initiative,
Alpha
but that's-
Flight-
but that's
Alpha Flight's
Canada.
Earth.
Yeah.
Alpha Flight is just also Earth.
Yeah, Alpha
depends,
Flight.
Now it could be Sword because guess what? Him and Captain Marvel are buddy.
I think it's Sword.
Canon-wise or
Bro,
buddy?
they've
Yeah.
had 30 years.
No, I
And then,
absolutely
like,
think Sword is a pretty realistic idea. to
I
me.
100% think it's
No,
Sword.
I actually
Because there's no more
100%.
shield,
No.
and they're no longer Earth contained
Well, remember-
anymore. They're in
remember-
space now.
remember,
they have
they
the
want to
scrolls.
find
you know what I
threats
mean?
in beyond space.
Yeah, like no,
They want to find threats.
Sword is dead. Like I could dead ass see that being Sword for real. Like, that makes 100% sense to me.
I think it's Sword.
Yeah, I think
it
that makes sense.
definitely makes sense.
Yeah,
'cause
absolutely.
They're going to travel around all space to see what threats out there. Because
Yeah.
they do not want another Thanos ever. to
Yeah,
happen.
no, they don't want Thanos, so they're gonna do literally everything in their power. If there's even some nibble looking like he might be Thanos, they're
But I
gonna-
could say big prediction far in the future. I think the next big threat will probably be Nihilus.
I could see that.
And it's
Now,
crazy. I was thinking about Annihilus, but I'm like, would they really introduce the Annihilation Wave?
I think
Because
so.
like this,
'Cause
like
that's
the
how you get
Human
the
Torch,
Guardians
but the
and the
Human
Avengers.
Torch died during
Well,
Annihilation.
look, they're not going to go play by play book by the whole thing.
See,
Trust
I
me.
think
But
they're
if
not-
if you introduce the Fantastic Four and they hold the weight that you want them to, that might be
but not a
something
lot
that
of people
people are
read
waiting
that
for.
event.
my honest thought
True.
about the Annihilation Wave is that I think it'll be. I think I could see the Annihilation Wave and Annihilation happening, but I don't think it'll be Annihilus behind it. I think it'll be another character people know
Fucking
more.
Doom.
No, I don't think it'll
Doom
be
gets the
Doom.
Annihilation Wave. I
Nah,
mean, it makes
'cause
The
to
sense.
me-
anti thing.
You might as well say Doom for Secret Wars. Honestly, I don't think they do that. Doom. I feel like it'd be like,
Because they're pushing
Someone
space.
else.
Space is always going to
Yeah.
be pushed in the MCU. That's where you're always
But
the
I
biggest
just don't
threat
think
to
enough people know about Annihilus.
Oh no, they're going to build it up, obviously.
So, like,
you're going to hear hints and
But like
stuff
even
like that.
Annihilus to me isn't because Annihilation came out during Civil War, so it's not even popular amongst comic readers that much. So like I fully feel like
But
they're just gonna
remember,
peg someone else
MCU
here.
made the Guardians
like
relevant.
it'll deadass be Galactus.
Remember that MCU made the Guardians
like,
relevant.
True.
And Guardian
I don't know.
Guardian was a D-list book.
Like Guardians is so much easier. I feel like to
Look,
to-
I trust Kevin Feige, and I think he will do.
I feel like
any
in
story he
order to
touches.
make Annihilus, they need him to be played by a big ass actor.
Mm-hmm.
I think they would need him to be played as a recognizable actor.
He's gonna be VO though.
Yeah.
Dwayne
That's also an issue I have.
Shut up, Lou. Shut up.
Dwayne! The Rock is Annihilus! Nah,
I can see it.
he'll need to be played by like Morgan Freeman for real.
No.
Yeah.
That's
Morgan
whack.
Freeman.
Yeah.
That's
Morgan
whack.
Nah, Morgan Freeman is
That's
nice.
Morgan
whack.
You're saying that now, but,
But-
for real, it's gonna be
hey,
I'm going to take my wave of insects and I'm
Yes.
going
Space
to
is always gonna be the big thing, and
Yeah.
with that ending,
Nah, it'll
trying
be
to save-
Galactus, bro. Galactus will bring Annihilation.
Galactus is the next big thing.
Galactus will that has to be Annihilation.
I can almost guarantee the next big Avengers movie will be
And
Galactus.
he'll be like, you ignorant niggas, please shut the hell up.
I'm curious on who this roster is going to consist of.
Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, Black Panther
Panther.
plus White Panther with Shuri.
Ant-Man and Wasp,
Ant-Man and Wasp.
War Machine.
War Machine, but he's not gonna be called War Machine. He's gonna be called a War Man. And
Now, does Captain Falcon lead or does
Yeah.
does Captain
I
Marvel?
would-
just call my bull. That's Cap America, bull.
I would.
So
I
does
would
Captain
100%.
America lead or does Captain
I would
Marvel
100%
lead?
he would lead.
Yeah,
I would like him to
Nah,
lead,
I
but
think
they're going to make it Captain Marvel.
my
No,
issue.
it's not.
No,
It will
here's
not
what
be.
they're gonna do. Here's what they're gonna do. I'm telling you, if it's gonna be Captain America Falcon leading, but then the issue is gonna come from space. So Captain Marvel will be like, I've seen this before. I am Captain Marvel, and then Falcon will be like, I'm spitting these rhymes because I'm Clarence, and then like she'll be like, I already know. I'll go recon, and Captain Falcon will be like, alright. And that's that.
She's going to be like, I killed them all.
God.
It's like,
And now I'm going back
You
to
know
that
what?
side of the space.
I really hope that they don't like do the whole like
Mary
like
Sue?
like
Because that's
no
what she
like the
is?
wole like men and women power thing. I
Yeah,
really
that's
hope
what's
they
gonna
don't go
happen.
there.
It's
because
gonna be
you know why?
no, because the whole
Because
event is
Sam-
gonna be a bunch of like
because
dudes
Sam Wilson
who
is
can't do
just-
too much, and then all these bitches that are out here doing all this crazy
Sam
shit.
Wilson is a
See,
very respectable character, and that would seem out of
I don't
character
think
for
they're
him to
gonna.
struggle.
I honestly don't think they're gonna do that because right now the Avengers lineup has the potential to have more women on it than men for it.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
But see, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think they'll do
Look at
that.
the power difference in MCU currently.
Scarlet Witch.
The strongest
Scarlet.
characters are women right
Yeah,
now.
absolutely.
And
Can't
like
hold it at all.
they're even
Thor.
trying to say Shuri
Thor.
is smarter than Black Panther.
Yeah,
So
no,
it's
she's
like-
definitely smart enough.
So it's
they
like,
dumbed
damn,
down Black
her,
Panther.
We've been on
her
that.
tech will probably be better, so she'll be a better Black Panther than Black
Nah,
Panther.
but she's not gonna be Black Panther.
or
No.
White
She's gonna
White
be
Panther
White
or whatever
Jaguar
she
or
is.
some shit.
I can see her becoming like leader.
You know, they'll bring down Thor, and we'll think, okay, we have Thor as our powerhouse for the men, and then
Thor's too.
Captain Marvel is just gonna come run Thor up.
I mean, I don't think that matters for real. Cause I don't think that'll happen. I don't think any of that is gonna happen.
It's definitely gonna
I
happen.
don't think that's gonna
It
happen.
can't matter
because like
people will get upset.
it
but
doesn't matter because if we're talking about Avengers, we're gonna have the. It's not. I don't think every
Captain
Avengers
Marvel.
movie is gonna be
Captain
the
Marvel.
giant ensemble. I think Captain Marvel will definitely be there,
Captain Marvel.
and I think
Yeah,
Thor.
it's-
I don't even know if
it's
Thor
her.
will be back.
It's
No,
her
Thor is
Avengers
definitely
squad.
Guardians.
I don't even think Thor will be back in the next Avengers movie.
No, Thor is definitely Guardians.
It's her Avengers squad.
No, it'll be
It's-
like I said. It'll be like
It'll be Captain Marvel's Avengers.
it'll be Falcon leading them, essentially just like what happened with fucking Endgame and Infinity War and stuff. It'll be Cap leading like
Ground
the
team.
charge.
Yeah.
And then it'll be like Captain Marvel, essentially like high level advisor because I know this stuff. But no one's gonna listen to Captain Marvel mostly because they don't know her.
You know, 100%. It's
Like-
gonna be like it's gonna be the Captain
Yeah,
Iron Man relationship,
'cause-
like always,
Exactly.
like button heads.
Yeah, like put it in perspective. Like, why the hell would Rhodey come and listen to Captain Marvel?
You're not wrong.
It's not gonna happen. Like,
well, I mean, they like each other.
partly. He said,
She said-
"New girl" one time.
Be safe.
Shut up! Get away from me.
He was
I
like,
just don't think that's
yeah.
a
and then disappeared.
because like they'll have Ant-Man and Wasp and Ant-Man will be like,
Yeah,
okay,
Yeah, I beat that Captain America.
yeah. He's like, I beat him, and then it'll be like the Wasp will be like, okay. The Wasp will be doing something. I
The
don't know.
Wasp will be like shrinking.
It's going to be an
and
interesting
The
dynamic
Wasp
and
is
see who's
low-key
going to be in the
better
lot
than
lineup.
Ant-Man at his own
the
job.
lineup is going to be curious. What they're going to do is going to be curious. How they're going to solve it is going to be curious. Like, because the minds that they need, they barely have. We don't know how many more movies Mark Ruffalo has. If
Mark
he has any at
Ruffalo
all.
has an easy ass job. He'll probably do a lot more, to be honest.
I would
You think
hope
about
so.
it, all he does is walk around in a suit half the time.
Sometimes he
And then
doesn't
VO.
even.
Yeah, and sometimes he
he'll
does
just talk.
VO for the whole movie. So like,
They really,
he's done that
I'm
like
not
once
gonna lie,
before.
people may be like, I don't know if they're gonna agree, but I don't like the whole character as much. I don't like where they took it.
Marvel doesn't have the rights to the Hulk.
I know,
So
but
they're
like
not gonna make Hulk
I
cool.
really like
Simple
Loki.
as that.
But he was even cool in Ragnarok. But I feel like they really like played down his character really, really bad. In my opinion, at least.
I didn't really care for Hulk and Ragnarok. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean-
Everyone says, "Oh, that's the best Hulk." You guys only like that movie because they chopped it from Guardians. Anyway, moving on.
He was moved.
Yeah,
When I saw Avengers again, I had me bagging the fuck up.
I was amazed with it.
Shit, get away. But I guess we can end it there.
Yeah. So overall, I mean, we can all collectively agree the movie was amazing.
Yeah,
the
I
movie
really
was a
liked
great
it.
movie.
I really
It was
liked
good.
it.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. A lot of you guys are tweaking, saying it's better than Endgame and Infinity War.
It's
You
just
guys
the
are-
Marvel hype.
That's
It's
a
just
really,
the Marvel hype.
That's a really
Right.
hard thing to even say. Endgame literally is the end of the Marvel universe that we know.
Seriously,
So
like-
it's like kind of even hard.
Well, this is an epilogue.
So
That's basically what they.
Kinda, yeah.
That's basically it.
so, yeah.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, aside from that, the movie was great. It's one of my favorite Spider-Man movies, and it's most people's favorite Spider-Man
yeah,
movie.
that's common,
So,
which I mean is
you
good.
know, if you haven't seen the movie, definitely go see it.
Considering, even if you think, because everyone thinks that Spider-Man 2 is better, and even if you do think that,
Different.
that's
Like-
a compliment in itself
Right.
to even be on that.
Don't
even
get me
close
wrong.
enough.
I still think Spider-Man 2 is the
Which
best
is
one,
fair.
personally.
But even to think a movie's close enough to even
Right,
challenge Spider-Man
right,
2 is
right.
a really good compliment in itself.
Right, if you have it up in that category
Right,
regardless,
exactly.
like, damn, understand how good that movie
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
But that's going to wrap it up from us today, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I am your host, Snapple Grapple, and once again, to my left is my illustrious co-host,
The Jamaican shake.
and to my right,
Garbage. Chicken.
and we thank you guys so much for tuning in to yet another episode of FCTV. Please, guys, go watch the movie. When you see the movie, put a comment down on what you thought about it. Let us know likes and dislikes. Let us know if you disagree or agree with anything. You know, like these guys both like certain parts about the dichotomy between Beck and Iron Man that I didn't, and the dichotomy between Iron Man and Peter that I didn't.
Right.
So, you know, we don't always agree. So you guys don't always have to agree.
Right.
Different voices, different opinions.
Absolutely. We love hearing what you guys have to say.
Right.
That being said,
Keep
once
it
again,
simple though.
Before we cut, I do want to thank the viewers because we've been boosting views.
oh my
Thank
God,
you
you
so much,
guys,
guys.
you guys
A
are
lot of
amazing.
views.
Whatever you guys are doing, we can't thank you enough.
honestly.
We periodically check our old videos every once in a while. Like, yo, when did this blow up to
Yeah.
1,000 views?
We're almost at we're at 1,500 views on one of our videos.
And
Which
that's
is
all
awesome.
because of you
We're
guys.
keeping current.
Yeah,
We're
have-
keeping current, and the fans are getting
Yeah,
what they want.
we're trying to keep videos weekly, which we're doing pretty good at.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be a video that came out today. Stuff happened.
Right.
Which today, when we're filming this, which will probably be like Tuesday or Wednesday of the week of last week
Yeah.
that this video goes up. But you know, stuff happens. We're doing good. We still have videos lined up
Right.
for this week
Yeah.
to come. So we're
We have-
trying. We're doing all right.
We have
I think.
so much content for you guys.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that I've been thinking about, I haven't really discussed it with the rest of the guys yet because I'm trying to figure out what would be best for everybody so that when I bring it to the table, there's very little, counters.
Right.
But I'm trying to figure out a schedule for you guys because so many Food Chain members have stuff that they want to work on outside of, just FCTV podcast
Yeah.
itself. For,
Plus, we
the
have chain
comments.
reaction.
We have chain reaction.
We're having game videos.
we're having
Gameplay videos are coming up
Gameplay
soon.
videos are coming. Game reacts are coming.
Right.
Our one of our Food Chain members, or the leader of the Food Chain, he wants to do like a whole, essentially like bio on all these on all
Fighting
of
games.
us
Yeah.
on our fighting games and different choices we
Right.
make. So we have
that
a
on
lot
there.
of content coming to you guys,
Yeah.
and I want you guys to know that we definitely have been thinking about you guys the whole time. Once I can really crunch numbers and figure out everyone's availability, I'm hoping to have multiple videos a week out to you guys. Lately we've had about 2.
We
averaged
can have
a week.
1 to 2 a week. Which
Right.
I don't
It's
think
not
is
bad.
It's
That's
not
a
bad
start.
at all. It's not
Yeah.
bad at all. It's a great start.
Right.
And like I said, you guys just give us the fuel to keep going. Like I took some time away from FCTV for a couple weeks, and then all I've seen is the other guys are just posting and posting and posting. And the fact that you guys are giving such good feedback boosts the rest of the food
Yeah.
chain to want to do so much more.
Honestly.
So we're just going to keep bringing it to you guys as best as we can. I'm going to work on better marketing and better promotions so that we can reach more of you guys. And until then, keep liking, keep sharing, keep telling people about us, and keep commenting. We love hearing what you guys have to say.
Honestly.
That being said, Food Chain out, guys. Thank you so much for coming.
Take it easy, guys.
Follow me on Twitter, Zendaya.